All right, with problem number 10, we have a basic integration problem, what is called a definite integral. And as integration problems go, this is a pretty straightforward and fairly simple problem. So I would classify it first of all as a definite integral problem, and the reason is because we have the integration symbol and then we have limits of integration. The, the integral from -2 to 4 of f of x dx. With definite integration, basically what we're doing is just finding the area under the curve between x is -2 and x is 4. For the fact that any area that is going to be above the x-axis is considered to be positive, and any area that is below the x-axis, or I should say between the curve and the x-axis. So any area that is between the curve and the x-axis that's above the x-axis will be positive. Any area that's between the curve and the x-axis that falls below the x-axis will be negative. So what we see here is basically two triangular regions that almost have the same area. They don't specifically, or they may specifically, but that doesn't matter. What does matter is that since they are both roughly the same shape and one is going to be a positive area and the other will be a negative area, well, first of all, area is always positive, but we will call it a positive integral that is above and a negative integral that is below. When we add the two together, we're going to come up with 0 basically. So the answer is going to be roughly 0 because the two areas cancel each other out there, or 0 each other out. So this is a basic calculus problem. It tests you about your knowledge of integration. Specifically, it tests about your knowledge of definite integrals. There's nothing to calculate here. You don't have to actually do any mathematical operations to find the integral or the antiderivative in this case. It's a graphical example. All you have to know is that area that is between the curve and the x-axis will be positive. Between the curve and the x-axis that's above the x-axis is positive. Between the curve and the x-axis that's below the x-axis will be negative. And so basically you're just going to add the two together and see what's left over from that. All right, now they could make a number of different problems like this, but if you understand that basic idea there, then you should be able to handle any of a number of different situations like this. Okay, so that'll be the end of this particular problem. Our answer is our answer is D rather. D is 0, and so that's the first calculus problem in this particular set.